Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to Server 966, home of Lord Nacho. But we're not doing an episode on Lord Nacho today. No, we're doing it on Boyd.
So you wanna be a player, but you weren't too smart. You gotta hit Melt up to get a Pimp out.
A 50 million power arc from a very special guild, a very famous guild, the #1 mobilization event guild in the world, Mu1. Well, today we are going to talk about what it's like to be an arc in the #1 mobilization guild every week in the world. Does that make sense? Anyway, so there's a lot of things to talk about. This is an episode of Pimp My Arc, so we're going to get into the commanders, the meta, where he's going with his research, where to go from here. But there's so much stuff that's happened since this peak performance patch that it has a lot of players that just got tier 9 questioning, where do I go from here? And people are realizing, like, hey, you're going to need a lot of unlimited crystals if you want to go from building 21 to 22. Basically, everything requires unlimited crystals. Well, unlimited crystals are a premium item. You have to pay money to get them. At least they used to be. Definitely a year ago that was the case. But nowadays you can get them from your Paraloper, from doing the Time and Space War. You can get them from pure crystals, which is what... we need to get to wave 300. Come on, Boyd. We need to get to wave 300. I'm sure he's working on that. Actually, I just talked to him. He's been working on a lot of things. So we'll get to wave 300 soon. But he is working on buildings, right? Buildings. And it's... the only way to get these unlimited crystals is to actually farm the pure crystals, do the Time and Space War, or buy them with real money. So when you're in the guild Mu1, you actually get 5 pure crystals every week because they get first place every week. I think they've only missed it like once or twice. And now lately, a lot more guilds have been competing because of the migrations going on. But even second place gets 4. But they've been getting 5 crystals every week for the last, since what, February of 2018? So that's almost, 70 weeks? I don't know. What's the math? Let's see. So 5 times 52 weeks plus, let's say, another 18 weeks. 278? 278 Okay. This is why we don't do math while we're talking in videos. I'm telling you, it tears my head up. It's let's call it 52 plus 18, which is 70, times 5 pure crystals, 350 pure crystals. Multiply that by 100, which is what they translate into if you upgrade them with, if you build them into crystals. That's 35,000 unlimited crystals that he's gotten, I wouldn't say for free, right? Mu1, it's not free to do the mobilization. It just takes time and effort and all that, but it's not real money coming out of your wallet, which is amazing. They've been able to, utilize all of these pure crystals to get 80 members a week, these 5 pure crystals. 35,000 pure crystals times 80 members, I don't even know. A lot of math. It's a lot of math. And they've been getting it every single week. And after a year, this is what happens. You start getting these 50 million player arcs who haven't had to spend a tremendous amount of money to get all the unlimited crystals they need to get their advanced tier. So speaking of advanced tier, actually, let's not jump into that yet. I'm going to show you his research tab and what he's been going on. I just want to say this Mu1 mobilization thing. I've always been a fan of this guild. The fact that they rally every week and beat everyone in mobilization. And I've always wondered how they did it. Like, what's their MO? Well, guys, I finally answered the question. The answer to how Mu1 outscores everyone in mobilization every week is basically brute force and threats. I mean, it's not jokingly, but it is kind of jokingly. There is a guild member named Bamboo Dragon. This guy, I looked it up on Google Translate, and I guess every 4 to 6 hours they send out guild mail during the weekend that says, and this is after translation, so it's kind of funny, so bear with me. It goes, here's the original, and then here's the translation. No task to do. Less than 40,000 points. Do not want to take any prize. I will kick you out in advance. Anyway has lost. Do not need to enter the team. Mixed days of people. You can try my bottom line. I love translating Chinese to English because you get weird slogan or one-liners like that. Basically, what he's saying is, if you don't do 20,000 a day, 40,000 at the end of the weekend, you're getting kicked out. I think you get one warning. Boyd says 1 warning, and then you get kicked out. But if you don't believe him, you can try his bottom line. But anyway, that's how they do it. They make everyone do 40,000 a week. So if you want to beat Mu1 in the mobilization, have your guild do 41,000. Anyway, I'm a huge fan of this guild and the way that they were able to mobilize this event and take advantage of it. After a year, it's a lot of work. They've got a lot out of it. So congratulations to you guys. Let's talk about Boyd. So Boyd is a 52 million power advanced tier player. He just got tier 9. He's working on tier 10. And he got to that point where he said, I don't know if I should really go down the tier 10 path because it's a tremendous amount of unlimited crystals, right? And what does tier 10 really give you that tier 9 doesn't? Honestly, not much. It gives you one more tier. The troops aren't much different. I mean, stats are basically the same. They're just a higher tier, right? They're just a little bit better. But it's not like going from tier 10 to tier 11 or tier 11 to tier 12. It's not much different. So he said, Melt, I think I want to focus on going down the building path. And I just did an episode of Pink My Arc earlier this week, and that's exactly what we decided. If you hit tier 9, focus on getting your buildings to 22. Save your unlimited crystals and just start upgrading those buildings. You may have noticed in the background that Boyd doesn't have any buildings building. Well, there's a reason for that. And I asked him, why aren't you building any buildings that you're focusing on? He says, because there's a speed up event going on for time mastery. And I said, well, upgrade as much stuff as you want, but don't try to compete in this event by upgrading your most expensive researches, because that stuff takes time. You need all the time helps, because when you build them, it takes 500 days. Every guild help is 1%, which adds up to, 1% of 500. What is that, like 5 days? And then it tapers off as you get lower. At 200 days, it's, 2 days. But, you want to get the full time helps on the big researches. I told him, listen, the speed up thing is like, you don't have to actually speed up 100 days of whatever to get 100 credits. All you have to do is spend the speed up, so you can build rangers and do it. So for the sake of this video, I'm gonna do that right now, and then we'll go into more details. 162,105 is how many points he has. But what he really needs to get to is this 5 Geiststone frag, 500 mags. That's where the real money is, those Geiststone frags, because those are the real super premium items. And nowadays in the current meta, you want to have 2 guaranteed hit gems and a 5-piece set by making Andromeda, Gemini, or Cepheus as your third gem set. And you only need 3 Geiststones to do it. You don't need all 5, just 3 because you have weapons, right? Okay, so we need to get to 500,000 minutes, or 500,000 points. A point is is it minutes? Okay, yeah, it's definitely minutes. Fucking hey, man. Okay, here we go. So 162,000, so 500,000 minus 162,105, 337,895,000. Oh my God, I can't talk. This is why we don't do late night episodes, boys and girls. 337,895 is how many minutes we need. If you divide minutes by hours, 60 minutes in an hour, that's 5,600 hours. Divide that by divide that by hours in a day, that's 234 days. So that's what we need. We need 234 days, 234.6 days worth of speed ups to get the remaining and get those extra points. So let's do that real quick. I actually talked to Boyd. He says he has an excess of them, so I can go ahead and burn through them. So 235. Let's do it. So we'll grab the Rangers. We'll start building them. 235 days. So we're going to burn 180 days. Ouch. And then another 55 days. Okay. So we'll do just 2 30 days. That'll make it nice and easy. 1 and 2. I mean, listen, that was really wasteful, but getting those Geiststones is very important. And honestly, speed-ups are one of those things that you can kind of get a lot of them, and your guildmates can help you. You can just ask for them, and they'll send them to you. It's not typically that hard to get. If you're short, your guild's not willing to share or whatever, then fine, don't waste them. But 5 Geiststones, it's worth it. It really is worth it, because those are what you need to make the third gemstone frag. So anyway, he's got it now. It's in his mail. Voila. Hope that helps. All right, moving on. Peak performance, this new function, I'm going to do a video on it. In fact, by the time this video goes live, I may well have published the other peak performance video. I'm going to go into detail, but basically what it's showing us is that being a one-trick pony is great for galactic battle and one-slot busting and low-risk PvP. But in peak performance, where the rewards are so much higher than what they used to be or what they are in galactic battle, it's really worth having a balanced set of commanders. So you'll see, like right now, Gan is using Elf Stello Rogers. You should have 5 because, but maybe he has 3 max leadership columns. He's not going to use the other ones anyway. But it's really important to have a balanced group of commanders, and there's some commanders that are just worth having. Rogers is worth having. Plasma's worth having. A 1-slot bus commander like Stella or Vega, or well, not Stella, but Vega or Gilly, or Full Metal for busting Rogers. In fact, if we're being honest, I think Rogers and Full Metal are a must. But problem with, and they're a must, and you can use the advanced tier even if you don't have walkers unlocked. So at least having, like, I don't know, 2 utility commanders that are 10 or 20% of your max leadership might be worth it. But anyway, he's discovering that he was going pure infantry, and we need to branch out. So he's got 100,000 Stella here, 115,000 leadership Stella, and just yesterday, to be more competitive in peak performance, he's picking up Rogers. So he's only at level 38. Remember, you got to get to level 50 so that on the 4th turn you go 100% immune. If you're at level 49, you have to go 5 turns. Yeah, you take diminished damage each time, but level 50 is a sweet spot. Take him all the way to 60s. You'll always use Rogers as a utility commander because of that unique ability for him to go immune. I think a lot of people are going to start using Rogers just because it's not hard to build him, and he's so useful in peak performance. So everyone should be taking that skill, that defensive stance, up to 60. You can have your Tyrant Cometh down at 30. It's fine. It is your hardest hitting skill, the hardest hitting guaranteed hit skill in the game, except for the ignore stat ones. It hits really hard. Okay, so that's his guaranteed hit, 20% guaranteed hit. There's plenty of info on Rogers if you want to get into that. But anyway, he's got a Plasma as well that's already really well built, and he's toying with a Walker commander. So he's thinking about using Pictor here. So he's kind of like went from being pure infantry just a few days ago to toying with a Walker commander and a Rogers as an airship defensive commander. And he's also got a Vega, 52 Vega. So his account's a little all over the place, but because he has such good gear, good balance gear, he can compete really well in peak performance. So as long as his leadership is pretty well separated, 100,000 here, 50,000 here, 30,000 here, he's going to do really well as a balanced team, as opposed to just one big commander that can be strengthened, weakened, passed. He's trying to go wide here. So I think I like this. I like the fact that he doesn't have to focus on his PvP research and still enjoy the game, because the peak performance has such great rewards. I meant to show that. So he's going to be able to kind of play with different commanders and the high-level troops that would normally not be accessible to us, and kind of decide where he wants to go. So that being said, that's kind of what we talked about. I said, where do you want to go with your account? He's like, well, I am trying to go wide. I'm trying to be more competitive in peak balance. I like trying out all these commanders, being able to use them in the high tier. But right now, I want to stay on this Stella path because I'm at tier 9, which I agree with. You're at tier 9. Don't go focused on one commander anyway, because you're enjoying that peak performance. But where do you go now? Where do you go in 3 months from now? He says, I'm interested in seeing what Satalia brings. He says he doesn't like the current Walker offer. I agree with him there. Full Metal. Listen, Deranged is doing some amazing things with Full Metal, but I still think Vega and Gilly are a huge problem for Full Metal, no matter how you build him. And if you're going to have an answer for Vega and Gilly, it's going to be a Rogers and Elf and Reinhardt. And Full Metal is a good answer to those. So maybe Full Metal is just becoming that third wheel in the rock, paper, scissors. I don't know. But he's interested in seeing what Satalia brings. And I don't think there's too much other great stuff going on in Galactic Battle to make me, kind of change him off that path. And I think a lot of people are going through this as well. I think a lot of people are going to start exploring multiple commander offerings in all 3 tiers with the advanced tier 12 in the peak performance. So this is kind of what he's doing, right? He's got the Rogers build, 1 damage, 1 shield. I do recommend Titan here, and the reason you put damage and not pure Eternal Barriers on Rogers is because if your opponent is using Virgo or Ares, they can actually lower Rogers' damage down to 0. And so that even though he goes immune, he's not doing any damage. So you got to have at least 1 damage weapon on him to make sure that doesn't happen to you. He's got some resistance weaken here, that's nice, some strength and weaken here, and then Gift of the Valkyrie, which is just fine because he's going to be using tier 12 in peak performance, so perfect build there. He's using Gemini now. Honestly, Scorpio's probably better, but Gemini's fine too. It's like a secondary, third, tertiary commander. Probably going to want Scorpio there. There's just not a lot of great offerings for airship right now. I want to say Cepheus, Cassiopeia is probably better. Probably better if you can combo the Cassiopeia with Tyrant, but he doesn't probably want to rely on that too much either. Anyway, yeah, we're still kind of fleshing that out. As far as his Walker build's going, he's running Taurus here, but or Toro and Leo. Okay, good. Yeah, Leo's the more important one. Taurus is fine as well, and it works great with tier 12. Unlike me, who's running Leo and Sagittarius at the moment, which doesn't work with tier 12. I'm still adjusting to the peak performance. That's probably something I'll work on this week or next week. And then, of course, is Vega, right? Vega with Breakdown, massive level 60, ignore stat, skill, and he's got Gemini, which works with breakdown, and Libra for the tier suppression, which is probably not that useful in the peak performance. It's not useful at all, so he'll probably want to change that out eventually. What for? Oh, probably Scorpio. Scorpio's good, yeah, for Vega anyway. And then yeah, he's got a plasma he's running as well. Doesn't have the right gear on him yet. He needs double Titans there. And let's see if there's any other commanders. Oh god, there's a lot of commanders. He's got Beerman just sitting there. You got to remember, because he's Mu1, he's gotten so many A tokens. You also get A tokens whenever you win. Doesn't everyone else, though? I don't know. He's definitely got a lot of A commanders that he hasn't absorbed. He's got a full metal there. It's good to have a lineup for the new peak performance. It's good to throw full metal in there. I don't know. And a Gilly, too. So he's got, like, all the major comms. He's a really well-balanced account with a lot of high-level gear in a really high-performing guild that produces a lot of unlimited crystals. If you're willing to farm the cash and the shadow matter, yeah. Or, yeah, shadow matter and pure, yeah, and cash, then you're going to be able to get a lot of unlimited crystals. So he's already gotten 35,000. Was that the math? Yeah. So this is Boyd's account. This is Mu1, and this is kind of what accounts kind of look like in this peak performance thing, you know. I haven't done that video yet. I'm probably going to do it soon, but it is interesting how accounts like this that are tier 9 that really can't compete in galactic battle with the tier 12 guys can actually really enjoy the peak performance and get to use all those troop tiers, and they have to build the commanders correctly so that they can compete. So it's like, even though you don't run a Dodger Roger or Boss Roger, you can now build one because you may as well, because they're going to give you the troops anyway. So I don't know. I really liked what this patch has offered us. The patch before that gave us migration. Gotta say, guys, the devs are doing pretty good. They're pretty good. Not a good time to complain about the game, but yeah, really thankful that this peak performance is having a positive effect on everyone else. And I hope your accounts are having a nice positive effect. But what else can we criticize about this account? You know what? Let's not criticize it. I think I covered it pretty well. The commanders he's working on, being an Mu1, what peak performance is doing to accounts like this, and how much he's gotten in unlimited crystals. I mean, it's really a wild account. Just there's a lot here. There's a lot of substance here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Pimp My Arc. Remember, if you want to sign up for episodes of Pimp My Arc, there is quite a list. There is a waiting list. But if you think your arc would be interesting, you can message me directly online, or just check in the description below of this video. All the videos have descriptions. You can message me online, get invited to the Line community. If you haven't already joined the Line community, join the Line community. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, there's still 37% not subscribed to the channel. Yeah, give the channel a follow. Get the bell icon on. Check out the channel for a while. If you play Arc of War, you may as well watch the channel. You don't have to watch it every day, but maybe you'll come back to it when good stuff's coming around. We're doing a live event one of these days. One of these days. All right. Boyd, thanks for letting me do this. We'll see you guys in the next one.
So you wanna be a player, but you weren't too smart. You gotta hit Melt up to get a Pimp out of.
Did you know this channel is 100% viewer supported? We are completely unaffiliated with 7 Pirates. And it's not for lack of trying, but let's be honest, in the history of game developers, I mean, when have they ever gotten behind a community that supports their game? It doesn't happen often. But, hey, you know, what are you going to do? It's our game, we play it for each other, and we built a community around it. And that's why I want you to think about taking this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to join Patreon. Patreon is a community support vessel that pushes money into the creator. So if you want to get behind Patreon and pledge $15 a month, you get a sweet mug, right? You get a bunch of Arc of War merch that's exclusive to this channel, that comes from the community or made directly by me and the other patrons that patronize this channel. We do monthly giveaways, we do sign-up contests, we do 3-month goals. Because this is an in-cap video, I can't actually say what this month is, because it's probably going to change over time if I don't change this video. But just know, usually there's a sign-up bonus every month. And if you want to know what this month is, check in the description of this video. There's a link to Patreon. You can take a look and see what we're up to, see what's in the pipeline, see what's coming. You also get invited to a special line chat with all the other paid promoters of the channel who got behind its community and are pushing it forward. That means new marketing promos, new live event stuff, the trophy that's being worked on, which is maybe done by the time you're watching this. I don't know. But all those things cost a lot of money. And since the game's not helping us, and since I can't pay for everything, I'm asking for help. If you want to get behind it, I'm using that money to build this thing up, build this community, build this channel. And if you've been waiting on joining and wondering when you'll ever do it, this is the day. This is the video. This is the moment. Go down to the description, click that link, join Patreon, try it out for a month. Get behind the channel. If you hate it, quit in a month. But at least give it a try. If you play this game enough, maybe get behind it, you know? I don't know. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And we'll see you tomorrow. 5 videos a week, boys. Maybe more by now. Who knows?